Well, mental health issues affects millions of Americans, and it's not something people typically talk about. But one mother is making it her mission to raise awareness through advocacy, education, research, and service.
Yeah, joining us now is Judy Murray, the founder and president of the Dignity and Advocacy Network, better known as D.A.N. Judy, we want to thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and this was all started in memory of your son.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about him and his story.
He was growing up with the system, the mental health system, from a very young age, ADHD, bipolar, schizoaffective disorder. He just kind of marched to his own drummer and was different, you know, not ill, not, you know, how the system views him. So after he passed, I realized that we really had been failed by the system. And I began to understand what was really going on with him and many others like him, and the failures of the system, and that was through endless research and connections I've made with many folks who actually recovered from even the most extreme altered states by pulling back from the system and using a different approach. And that's when I really learned the truth about what was going on.
Well, what are some of how is D.A.N. different? How is the approach different?
The approach is, well, first of all, the truth is that every symptom, from depression to hearing voices, is a reaction to life situations, whether it's trauma or spiritual. And we don't get a free card to walk away from unprocessed emotional pain because it will wreak havoc on us, on our body, mind, and spirit, and eventually manifest into the symptoms that I just mentioned.
Well, it's nice that you're able to help other families. I mean, through this, I'm sure you've learned so much. So it's great that you've been able to put a positive force behind this, and you're doing that through D.A.N. And our viewers can help support this, because I know that you have an exciting event coming up, right? It's happening next Thursday.
Anthony's Ocean View, and the name of it is Spirits in Quotes for D.A.N. And the spirits is in quotes because we will have plenty of spirits and wine tasting. Very nice. But also it represents what D.A.N. was going through, which was a spiritual crisis, and it's very misunderstood by our traditional system. They don't really know, they treat it as an illness and really don't approach it in the right way. Yeah,
so if some of our viewers know somebody who might need some help around this, how would you advise them to reach out to your organization, to D.A.N. and get involved?
So my information is on the website, dignityandadvocacynetwork.org. And come to the event, you know, and they'll learn a lot. We have a great speaker, Dr. Al Powers from Yale Prime Research Clinic, who is doing a study on voice hearers with amazing results. And Brittany Quajan, who is struggled in the system for many years, and now she's a research assistant with him / clinician / psychic, who turned her experience of voices from a very negative to a positive, and helping others today do that.
All right, very good.
You can find more information at the event. Thank you so much for being here. We'll check out your website. Tickets, again, it's happening on next Thursday, November 8th, 6 to 9 over at Anthony's.
Judy, thank you so much
Thanks for sharing your story.
Absolutely. More CT Style in just a moment.